After you've imported your textbook into the Canvas course, you should have an option here called My CourseKata. An older version will say My Progress. Once you click on My CourseKata, you'll see three options: Class, Students, and Jupyter. Click on Jupyter to get started. The first time you navigate to this Jupyter tab, it'll say Setting up Jupyter Notebooks for your class. I'm going to oversimplify a bit here, but a Jupyter Hub is essentially something you need in order to run a Jupyter notebook. We're going to be showing you Jupyter notebooks, and your students are going to have Jupyter notebooks, and in order to have all of those things running, you'll need to set up a Jupyter Hub. You want to think of each Jupyter Hub as being part of one of your Canvas courses. So for this Jupyter Hub, I'm going to make a name that's specific to this class in Canvas. Enter a short name here. Note that you can't change this name once you make it up, so think a little bit about what you're going to call this. Then you want to hit Setup Jupyter. In order to launch your Jupyter server, go ahead and click Launch Server. The server will start up and then take you to a page where you could see all your Jupyter notebooks. Note that I have a number of Jupyter notebook folders already. You should only have something called classwork for now if you're just getting started. So what do you do once you've created a Jupyter Hub? Well, you could create a brand new Jupyter notebook by using New. Another thing you could do is browse some of the Jupyter notebooks that we've provided for you at the Instructor Resources website, bit.ly/ckstats_instructors. There's a place up here that says Notebooks. If you click on that, you'll see a bunch of Jupyter notebooks that we've provided for you. Let's take a look at this one. 1A, Intro to Jupyter. I'm going to click to download it. Notice that it'll just download onto my computer. Maybe I'll try to open this file. And it says there's no application set to open the document. You know why? Because a Jupyter notebook needs a Jupyter Hub. Unless you have one set up on your machine, you probably won't be able to open it. So I'm going to cancel that. Instead, what you want to do is go to your Jupyter Hub that you've set up and upload this file. So I'm going to click Upload, and I'm going to select the Jupyter notebook that I just downloaded and open it up. And I'm going to press this Upload button. Now I should be able to open up this file. And there we go. This is an introduction to Jupyter Notebooks. So you could read through it, you can make changes. Maybe you're like, wow, this part really needs to be rewritten. You could do a number of things. Let's say you make your edits and you're pretty happy with it. And now you want to assign it to your students. What you do is you click NB Simple Grader right here. We've created some tools to help you publish these notebooks to your students. Go ahead and hit the Publish button. Notice that a number of my classes comes up. Maybe I'd like to publish it to this particular class, Fall 2020 Study Group. And I'd like students to be able to submit this, so I'm also going to click the Include Submit button. Another thing I could do is lock the notebook so that students cannot add or delete cells, but maybe I'd like to leave it open to give them the option. Once I do that, go ahead and hit the Publish button. This notebook will now be copied to all student accounts. Do you want to publish? And I'll say yes, save and publish. Once I publish it, I won't be able to edit it. If I unpublish it, any student work will be destroyed. Notebook successfully published. I'm going to reload the page. All right, and so now this is a notebook that has been published to my students. If I go back to my CourseKata and go to my Jupyter tab, I'll see my notebook that I published there. You might have to hit your refresh button if you don't see it at first. So I could just open that notebook up just by clicking on the name of it. And it'll start a Jupyter notebook. And this is how it'll look to your students, where it'll have a Submit button at the top. So I'm going to go back to my Jupyter page, and here I have a couple of Jupyter notebooks that I've been using with some instructors exploring these materials. I'm going to click on the number that appears under submissions. So I see 2 people have submitted this notebook, 4 people have submitted this one, and so I'm going to click on that. and I could see who submitted a notebook. I could quickly look at their Jupyter notebook in HTML like this, and this way I could get to read any answers they've written, their code, the output that their code ran. I can also view their submission as a Jupyter notebook. For example, if I want to run some of the code myself and see what happened. So I could look at Emma's notebook right here and see, oh, here are some of the things she ran. I could also run this myself to see what happens. Another thing I could do is download her notebook. One of the things that I do as an actual instructor is I often will download all of their files as an HTML file like this. And this will download all their Jupyter notebooks onto my computer. So once I open up the folder that downloads, I'll be able to quickly see their notebooks by just selecting one, and I could press the space button and I look at it and grade it, quickly look at the next one by H Park. I could quickly look at that. And this is often what I do in order to grade these. If you have any other questions about Jupyter Notebook, please feel free to reach out to CourseKata. Thanks, bye.